Guys, the CODM developers are back with another free functional weapon, and I'm really glad because this time, instead of another Black Ops 3 weapon, we're getting the MP5, which is a really well-known gun, and if you've played any of the Modern Warfare games, it's a bit of a fan favorite. In this video today, I just want to talk a bit about the gun and also show you guys the weapon and the new map Highrise that we're getting. It's not going to be a full super in-depth weapon review, but hopefully with this video you guys will get a pretty good idea of what this gun is like and whether you want to use it when it comes into the main base game. At the moment, it is only available in the test server, but it does look like it's going to be coming sometime in the next update, hopefully. I'm really excited to be getting a new weapon. That's always fun and always welcome. If you guys are excited too, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button on this video, but without further ado, let's have a look at the brand new MP5. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I will give you guys some of the basic stats. So it is a 5-shot kill weapon up close, and I'm guessing that'll just drop off like normal SMGs do, pretty hard, a lot harder than assault rifles. Obviously, if you don't like this, you can change it a bit with long barrel, but overall it'll be 5 and then probably going to after 6 and 7 shots the further away they get. Usually after about 20 or 15 meters, SMGs do drop off really hard. On the other side of time to kill, we've got rate of fire, and it does fire at around about the 800 round a minute mark, which is very similar to something like the Cordite, so this is probably going to be a somewhat similar weapon. It does have the same amount of shots to kill and also a similar rate of fire as the Cordite, and as you guys know, the Cordite is pretty lethal. It probably honestly is my favorite gun in the game right now, so this is probably going to be really good too and really effective at just killing your enemies. The recoil does seem to kick up a lot, but not too much side to side, so initially, as you can maybe see in the video a bit, I am struggling with the recoil control, but it is just practice and you just have to pull down a little bit more. Side to side recoil is harder because you can't really account for that, but there isn't too much of that in this weapon, so we're pretty much good to go with recoil. One other thing that I kind of wanted to point out about this weapon that's a little bit peculiar and pretty interesting is that normally it only has 30 rounds in the magazine, but if you run extended mag, which I am in this video, you can see that it has a 45 round capacity, which is crazy for an SMG. As far as I can tell, that's the biggest benefit you're getting from any extended mag in the game for SMGs at least, and assault rifles, so I guess I probably would recommend that attachment, but if you guys are finding that 30 rounds is more than enough, then obviously no worries with that. Unfortunately, I can't comment yet on things like mobility, so like your sprint speed when you're running around with it, or your ADS time, but you guys can see in the video the reload speed and the hipfire spread, and you guys can tell me what you think of that. I guess it's pretty standard for an SMG, it's what we're used to, it's nothing too crazy or out of the question. Overall though, by looking at what stats we have and also just playing with it so far, it does seem like it's going to be a really strong weapon in this game. It's pretty easy to use and sprays out a lot of bullets and has a big magazine so you can just keep on spraying. If it does end up being pretty similar to the Cordite, like what I mentioned earlier, it's going to be a really good weapon because you guys know how solid the Cordite is now. If any of you have grinded for it and played for it, you'll know that it is definitely one of the top weapons in the game. Some people call it OP, I wouldn't put it quite that far, but I do think it's really solid. This will probably just be a very good aggressive weapon that doesn't have an absolutely absurd time to kill up close like the Pharaoh or the MSMC, but it will be pretty good all round for an SMG. I'm really glad that this new weapon is going to be good though, because a lot of the times they add in new weapons to the game and you get really excited and then it sucks and you don't really touch it, so that's happened a few times with okay, maybe I'm being a bit harsh here, let me know if you disagree, but I didn't think the HVK30 was very good even after the buff, so I don't want a repeat of that, but something more like the KM44 is quite solid, so when that got added in, that was pretty exciting. So now that you've heard my thoughts on the gun, I'm going to hand it over to Mocro, who's back again to help me out with this video. If you haven't already, please go check him out. He recently hit 1k subscribers, and I'm going to leave the link to his channel down below. I've just asked him quickly for his thoughts on the gun, and also what attachments he recommends you guys running.
You know, the MP5 is a really interesting gun in my opinion because, it's not necessarily like the RUS, but it's not like the MSMC. I feel like it falls right in the middle, and I think that's going to be really interesting to see, how players really react to it. Because, to be honest, guys, I always wanted to, play with the MSMC, but it was a little bit too much for me, too much recoil, so I stuck with the RUS. So, to be honest, I think a lot of players are going to make that switch to the MP5 because it's right in between the MSMC and the RUS. Some people don't like the RUS that much, so that's why I think it's going to be right in the middle. For attachments and setup, to be honest, guys, I think a lot of it is going to be recoil. I think it's going to be standard setup, to be honest. It's going to be probably quick draw. I don't think you're getting the extended. Maybe if you guys want extended, I don't really know. The gun hasn't been out, but what I think it's going to be is I think it's going to be long barrel, quick draw, and then foregrip, which I think that's going to be the standard setup for this gun. And I think this gun is going to be really interesting to see how it comes out.
Just to have a look at the map for a little bit as well, The map Highrise is an old one from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, so it's a bit of a throwback there. I do think the top is going to be a little bit campy, but there are plenty of routes to flank through the bottom, so that's really nice. It does have a lot of verticality for a COD mobile map, but it's good to see more of that, I think. I am liking it so far though. It's hard for me to really comment on maps unless I've played with them a lot. I don't really have that great game sense on the map, so I'll leave it to you guys in the comments to tell me any thoughts you have on the new Highrise map at all. That will be it from me today though. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on this video, and also don't forget to go check out Mocro's channel as well guys. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.